course, we are preparing for the end of Title 42 based on the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's decision that it will end on May 23rd. That does not mean that the border is open beginning on May 23rd. We continue to enforce the laws of this country.
Well, that was Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas on Tuesday, insisting that the administration is following the laws of this country. And yet there have been 7,000 encounters of illegals every day, most of them released back into the country. Many people have told us on this program the administration, in fact, did not re-implement the Remain in Mexico policy fully, despite a federal court order to do so. So are they really following the laws of this country? Now, a federal judge has temporarily blocked the administration from ending Title 42 tomorrow, as it has planned. The White House says this weekend it will appeal the ruling. So will they blow off the court ruling again? And what about the thousands of people who had planned to flood the border ahead of Monday's deadline to overturn Title 42? My next guest says it is too late for the ruling, and he is expecting 18,000 apprehensions tomorrow at the border and every day after. Senator Roger Marshall is at the border in McAllen, Texas this morning. He sits on the Senate Health Committee and is also a medical doctor himself. Senator, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. I know you have done humanitarian work all around the world. Haiti, you were in Poland just a few weeks ago. How would you assess the southern border today?
Well, Maria, this is a human tragedy here. At nighttime, it looks like a war zone. There's a sea of humanitarian crisis here. Every evening and every day it's lived out as well. And I want to just shout out the Border Patrol officers. They're doing an incredible job. The Department of Public Safety here in Texas, all those people are doing the best, but they're just simply overwhelmed. This is an unsustainable crisis. It's a war zone every night. I'm calling on Joe Biden to come down here and see this for himself. And I don't mean do a flyby stop at the airport here in McAllen. He needs to come down and spend some time on the river. He needs to fish people out of this Rio Grande River behind me after they've traveled thousands of miles. He needs to go up the interstate here 60 miles and pick up people that have been traveling for 2 or 3 days without water in the desert here as well. He needs to go with those farmers and ranchers who are finding dead bodies on their ranches now. Most every day now they're finding dead bodies.
Unbelievable. And I have a shot of one dead body found by Christopher Olivares. This is the Department of Public Safety. And Christopher Olivares pointed out that this woman is from Honduras. She was found dead in the brush. He says that in April, there was a record high in the Department of Homeland Security history, 234,000 encounters, over 118,000 released into the country. This is a record number of people coming over. Fentanyl seized by CPB officers, nearly 1,400 pounds seized of fentanyl in the month of April. Tell me what you're expecting, and do you think that they will pause lifting Title 42 after the federal judge ordered to do so tomorrow?
Well, Maria, nobody told the migrants that are stacked up like cordwood on the other side of the river that Title 42 is not ending tomorrow. Joe Biden has to stop sending this signal to everybody. He needs to stop making this a magnet. When he announced he was ending Title 42, that was the magnet for the rest of the world. And like you said, there's been about 8,000 encounters per day. We expect that to go to 18,000 starting tonight. And that's already, double from what it was a year ago. And I just want to circle back on one point. The ranchers I visited with yesterday on their ranches, when President Trump was president, they would see 1 or 2 dead bodies per year. They've already found 100 bodies on one ranch on year to date right now. So this is exploding. The fentanyl, all those issues you talked about is why this is a war zone. This is why this is important to Kansas. This is why Kansas is no longer a border state.
I've got numbers here from the Department of Public Safety that the Mexican drug cartels are making $200 million a week. I went down to the border. The last time I was there a few months ago was my 4th time at the border, and they told me that it was $100 million a week. Then the other day, Christopher Olivares told me they're making $200 million a week, and the charge in terms of the heads, they charge $4,000 a head if you're from the Northern Triangle, but up to $20,000 to $30,000 if you're from the Middle East. And they're actually charging $50,000 a head if you're from China. We know that migrants are coming from 160 countries overall. What is the word when you speak with Mayorkas or this administration when you put these facts in front of them? This is obviously a national security risk.
Right. Well, they're derelict in their duties. Our president's derelict in his duties. So is our secretary, who's supposedly visited down here as well. I don't know what they're seeing that I'm not. But you're right. Those numbers sound very accurate to me. If you figure there's 8,000 people crossing a day that we're apprehending, twice that number getting across the border. Let's just call it 25,000 people every day, and we're paying the cartel. We through our NGOs, all these people down in the Triangle are paying $3,000, $4,000. $7,000 a person. Joe Biden is making the cartel rich, and he's threatening our national security. Maria, this is the greatest national security crisis that's immediately facing this nation right now.
Well, it's incredible that we don't have anything stopping it from is this intentional that the administration wants all of these people? 18,000 people coming across in one day. We don't have the border agents to actually police that.
Right. That's why this crisis is unsustainable. And again, I just can't tell you, even over the last year, Operation Lone Star, what Governor Abbott has done down here, putting layer after layer, putting state troopers on boats on the river behind me, interacting the direct Department of Public Safety with the National Guard, with the Border Patrol, the sheriff's officers, layer after layer, just like you would do in wartime, trying to slow down this enemy. The human trafficking, the human smuggling is exploding as well. No, it's unsustainable. This is completely unsustainable. We're in the middle of a great migrant crisis right now.
Well, the other thing is that it's emotional because you're seeing these people dying in front of you. I mean, how many people do they jam into one car when you find these migrants? They're dehydrated and starving, right? Right,
Maria. Like you mentioned, I've done humanitarian work all over the world. And I'm not bothered by a lot of things, but just going to the detention center the first night, and again, the Border Patrol doing everything humanitarian possible. But before they get their shower, before they brush their teeth for the first time in 2 weeks, before they've had food, before they get hydrated, it is absolutely a crisis to see two beautiful little girls, ages 6 and 8, on the river by themselves with their parents that paid the cartel to get them to this country. They gave them a phone number to call when they got here. Being up about 100 miles north of here, past a certain checkpoint, we found a young lady that was dying as well, dehydrated. So it is absolutely just riveting to see what people are going through.
It's a heartbreak. It's certainly a heartbreak. Senator, thanks for going down there and waiting till tomorrow to see what takes place and if they do blow off the federal ruling again. Senator Roger Marshall, we will talk soon. Thanks very much, sir.